For months, a single name has been circling the thoughts of astronomers, stealing sleep and quiet moments. It is not the birth of a star or the collapse of a galaxy, but a small traveler arriving from the depths beyond our system, a wanderer now called 3/Atlas. When it was first detected, scientists largely dismissed it as another frozen remnant sliding through the dark, ordinary and unremarkable, nothing that justified concern. That perception shattered the instant the James Webb Space Telescope fixed its gaze upon it. JWST gathers light with sensitivity unmatched by any instrument before it, and NASA has confirmed that Webb can register faint thermal signatures from objects unimaginably far away. What Webb observed on 3/Atlas did not align with any known natural explanation. The illumination originated from within the object, not from sunlight reflecting off ice. Every 4 hours, the light surged again, measured and consistent, almost like a heartbeat pulsing from something solid. At the same time, radio observatories on Earth recorded repeating, narrowband signals synchronized exactly with those pulses, a precision impossible to ignore. It stopped feeling like a simple rock passing our sun and began to feel like something aware of itself. If an interstellar object can respond, alter its rhythm, and modify its trajectory, then what form of intelligence are we confronting? When 3/Atlas first emerged in July of 2025, it appeared no different from other objects seen every few years. A faint icy streak entering from interstellar space, cold, silent, following a path that would carry it past the sun and into oblivion. Reports labeled it as nothing more than a drifting fragment, the third interstellar visitor ever observed, too small and dim to provoke excitement. Most research teams logged the find and moved on, assuming space debris behaves predictably. That assumption proved to be the critical error. For weeks, 3/Atlas showed no outward change as it slid through the outer solar system. Then James Webb aimed its mirrors, and the narrative changed. Early data confused researchers, as the brightness curve rose slowly in a way that did not correspond to reflected sunlight. Webb had observed faint objects brighten before, but this increase did not fit thermal models for comets or icy bodies. The light appeared to originate internally, as if the glow belonged to the object itself. On August 18th, during what should have been a routine window, 3/Atlas increased in brightness by 40% within just 1 hour, something no natural interstellar visitor had ever done. The change was sharp, clean, and concentrated. Instrument error was ruled out as every telescope saw the same surge. As teams struggled to explain the light, another anomaly surfaced. The object altered its course. Interstellar bodies obey gravity alone, never adjusting their own trajectory. Yet the plotted path of 3/Atlas bent measurably without collision or gas release, shifting direction as if reacting. From that moment, assumptions collapsed. Each new observation pushed the object further from anything describable as natural. The glow, the pulses, the course corrections formed a picture few wanted to accept. The third interstellar visitor was not behaving like a visitor at all, but like something acting with intent, raising a chilling question. If this was the third such object, how many passed unnoticed before? The first unmistakable warning came from the light curve itself. When Webb captured the glow of 3/Atlas during early passes, the pattern was too precise to dismiss. Natural bodies flicker unpredictably, but this one pulsed, rising and falling at exact intervals like a machine distributing energy. Every 4 hours, the signal returned unchanged in strength, timing, and shape, a discipline unknown in deep space. Spectral data deepened the mystery, revealing heat originating from inside the body. Comets heat unevenly and vent gas, leaving clear signatures of melting ice. Yet 3/Atlas showed none of this. The warmth stayed centered, stable, unaffected by sunlight, as if powered by a concealed core. One model after another failed. No dust, no plume, no vapor trail appeared. The data insisted on the same unsettling conclusion. The light came from a controlled source. As the object rotated, the pulses shifted subtly with orientation. When the side facing deep space turned sunward, the rhythm remained constant. But when 3/Atlas rotated so its brightest side faced Earth, the pulses intensified, sharper and stronger, as if the object sensed alignment with us. Global teams confirmed the pattern. For the first time, astronomers had to consider that the glow was not only internal, but responsive. Then came the radios. Shortly after the brightness spike, observatories detected a narrow carrier wave from the same region of sky. Unlike natural signals, it did not drift or degrade, remaining sharp and intact. Fourier analysis revealed repeating blocks, structured segments unlike noise, pulsars, or plasma storms. The pattern looked deliberate. Researchers decided to test it, transmitting prime numbers and constants toward 3/Atlas. After 72 hours, the signal returned, altered. The blocks shifted to match the primes, not as an echo, but as recognition. When compared to archives, the signal showed a 99% similarity to the WOW signal of 1977, raising a terrifying question about how long contact might have been occurring. Motion soon added another layer. ESA reconstructions showed acceleration in turns no natural force could explain. No jets, no gravity interactions, no debris explained the movement. Simulations revealed something worse. The motion resembled a controlled maneuver, synchronized with light pulses and radio returns, as if decisions were being made internally. Light, heat, radio, and now steering converged into a single conclusion. Then a single high-resolution JWST frame shattered remaining doubt. A section of the surface shifted, not cracking like ice or stone, but separating into a form unmistakably like a door. Multiple frames confirmed it. The seam widened over hours, revealing a hollow interior, uniform and shaped, rotating until it aligned precisely with Earth. As the chamber opened, a second, weaker light rhythm appeared, distinct from the 4-hour pulse, activating only after humanity's transmission. No natural process produces sequential, responsive emissions like this. Spectrographs revealed the surface was composed of rare earth alloys and metamaterials unknown in nature, while the interior reflected spirals built around the golden ratio, repeated flawlessly across scales. Microwave emissions stabilized as the object behaved like a resonant cavity, maintaining coherence by design. When the patterns were reconstructed, they resembled grammar more than physics. Beneath the metallic shell, faint signatures matched engineered biopolymers, woven into the structure, reacting to environmental changes like living tissue. 3/Atlas behaved like a mechanical organism, blending engineered control with biological response. As it continued inward, pulse intensity shifted with direction, strengthening when aligned with Earth, specifically along lines intersecting Giza and Nazca, repeating with precision. After months of observation, the conclusion became unavoidable. Nothing about 3/Atlas resembled a drifting rock. Everything pointed to a presence acting with purpose, sensing, responding, adapting, and altering its path like something alive. And through every discovery, one absence grew louder than all the data combined. The story of 3/Atlas unfolded like a slow, deliberate reveal, each layer peeling back to expose something far stranger than scientists could have imagined. Observatories across the globe found themselves chained to a rhythm they had never encountered before, a cadence dictated not by physics, but seemingly by intent. Every hour, every pulse, every signal became a thread in a tapestry of phenomena that refused to fit any existing model. Researchers who once viewed interstellar objects as inert travelers now found themselves questioning whether any of space's silent visitors could truly be passive. Each observation of 3/Atlas forced a reconsideration of assumptions long taken for granted. Ground-based radio teams worked tirelessly, triangulating the signals, and noting minute variations that seemed purposeful. Unlike typical interstellar noise, which fluctuates and dissipates over distance, the narrowband waves from 3/Atlas were crisp, almost surgical. The blocks of repeated energy maintained their structure across thousands of kilometers, a precision that hinted at active design. As the analysis deepened, it became clear that the pulses were not merely repeating in time. They were adapting. The Fourier sequences demonstrated subtle modulation that responded to previous transmissions, almost as if the object were listening and processing, not passively drifting. Meanwhile, light curves from Webb and other telescopes painted a picture no classical model could explain. Scientists had observed changes in brightness before, but never with the discipline and internal origin seen here. The glow did not flicker with rotation like a comet or asteroid. It pulsed with an exact, almost hypnotic regularity. Each cycle returned with the same strength, rise, and decay. Analysts attempted to correlate the fluctuations with surface features or rotational axes, but nothing in the existing catalogs matched the disciplined internal emission. The implication was chilling. The object seemed not only alive in some way, but aware, adjusting the timing and intensity of its internal light in response to external observation. As August passed into September, the rotational analysis of 3/Atlas yielded further surprises. Its axis of rotation was remarkably stable, defying expectations for a body of its size moving through interstellar space. Small forces from solar wind or tidal effects should have nudged it off course slightly, yet the rotation remained constant, even during brief encounters with denser regions of cosmic dust. The pulses grew marginally stronger when certain star fields came into view, suggesting an ability to sense its environment far beyond what any known interstellar body could. Astronomers began to map these variations meticulously, plotting each modulation against stellar coordinates and Earth alignment. The patterns were too precise to be coincidental. Then, the hollow chamber revealed by Webb became the centerpiece of ongoing analysis. Its opening toward Earth, timed with our prime number transmissions, indicated an interaction that was not just passive. The chamber itself seemed to act as a sensor, responding only when a deliberate communication attempt was made. Within the chamber, the secondary pulse, so faint it had initially been dismissed, became a signature of profound significance. Its rhythm, shorter and more variable than the primary 4-hour heartbeat, suggested a preparatory or signaling function, a kind of mechanical intelligence that could anticipate, respond, and adapt. Researchers scrutinized the spectral data from the chamber, and with every pass, new layers of complexity emerged. The interior composition was unlike anything naturally occurring in interstellar space. Metamaterials on the outer shell reflected and bent light in ways that suggested a level of engineering far beyond human capability, while the rare earth alloy ratios inside showed deliberate control over structural properties. Waves passing through the core revealed the spiral geometry repeated across scales, adhering perfectly to the golden ratio, a precision so striking that statisticians confirmed the probability of natural formation was effectively zero. The object was in every sense constructed. At the same time, biopolymer signatures hidden within the structure hinted at life, or something remarkably close to it. Analysts noted subtle responses to environmental shifts, much like biological feedback mechanisms. When charged particles from solar flares interacted with the object, the microwave pulses tightened. When radiation levels dropped, the cycles relaxed. This was not randomness. This was adaptation, a response tuned to external conditions. Teams began to speak cautiously of 3/Atlas as a mechanical organism, blending synthetic engineering and biological responsiveness into a hybrid system that defied classification. With each new layer of observation, the object's behavior grew more intricate. The primary heartbeat pulse remained constant in frequency, but its intensity varied depending on spatial orientation. Alignment with Earth triggered significant surges, far beyond the natural fluctuations that might occur from geometry or distance alone. Analysts began plotting these surges against planetary features, mapping lines of sight across Earth's surface. The results were uncanny. During multiple rotations, the peaks aligned with ancient human monuments, Giza in northern Africa and Nazca in South America. The object appeared to recognize locations on Earth of historical significance, an insight that suggested not only intelligence but knowledge, or at least pattern recognition, of human history. Across research teams, a sense of awe and unease deepened. The implications were staggering. 3/Atlas was not merely responding to physics, it was interacting with us. Its pulses, internal glow, and radio signals all indicated a capacity to perceive, evaluate, and adjust. The hollow chamber, opening toward the source of a signal, suggested a conscious process of recognition. When scientists consider the WOW signal from 1977, now mirrored in the returning blocks of radio energy, the thought took root. Had 3/Atlas, or something like it, been communicating across decades? The possibility suggested a history of contact far longer than humanity had realized. Then came emotion data. ESA's trajectory reconstruction showed deviations and accelerations inconsistent